Hi, this is Evelyn Johansson. Welcome to day one of the Your Wildest Dreams challenge. I'm so thrilled you're here, and I'm really excited to get started. I promise you, if you complete this challenge with all the exercises in it and begin to implement what I teach, your life will improve immensely. Today, we're going to talk about the two cornerstones of manifesting what you want, which are authenticity and self-love. But before we start, did you print out the workbook? I hope you did, because it'll make it easier for you to follow along and it'll help you gain further clarity. You can also use your own journal if you prefer. Just make sure to do the exercises, as they'll really help you to come into alignment. Also, did you choose which dream you'd like to focus on during this challenge? If not, pause this video right now and do it. Choose one dream. If you did choose one, let's dive right in. Today's topic is all about being authentic with yourself and aligning with love. Both are essential to getting the life of your wildest dreams. In fact, if you were 100% authentic and aligned with love, you'd be living your dream life right now. I start with authenticity and love because when you utilize the two to manifest, that's when you find true happiness. And actually, all the videos after this focus on getting you aligned with love and authenticity. All right, let's begin. So I manifested stressful financial situations, painful romantic relationships that were rooted in fear, jobs and careers that were stressful and unfulfilling, and more. So basically, I built my world on fear and stress because fear and stress were my go-to emotions. And actually, I want to point this out right now. Stress is just another form of fear. So if you have a lot of stress in your life, it's because you have a lot of fear. And fear and love cannot be present at once. When I first started to change my life and live with intention rather than from my programming or my habits, I realized I didn't really know what love was. Somehow I had a construed concept of love. I had kind of started to believe that love was guilt or it was obligation, and I felt that love had to be earned. I thought love was lacking somehow, or that it wasn't enough. And I started studying A Course in Miracles, and there it states that love is what we are born with and fear is what we learn. And our journey is to unlearn the fear so we can return to our natural states. And it's in our natural states of love that we can manifest the lives we really truly want. Plus, it's where we experience real peace and joy. Marianne Williamson said, "To be consciously aware of it, to experience love in ourselves and others, is the meaning of life. Meaning doesn't lie in things, meaning lies in us." This also means that love lives in us, it's in us. And since there's nothing lacking in love, there's nothing lacking in us. There's nothing lacking in you. Now take a moment to think about that. There's love inside of you, and since there's love inside of you, there's nothing lacking in you. When I truly understood this, that there's nothing lacking in me, it shifted my perspective for forever, and I realized my journey was about unlearning my fear instead of trying to be worthy. I realized I was already worthy. I could never be unworthy. I could only perceive myself as unworthy, which I had my entire life. So I encourage you to start shifting your perspective about what love is. Start believing in love again, a love that's whole, that's unconditional, and that's complete and perfect in every way. Also start believing that you're already whole, that you're already worthy, because you are. Loving yourself is a choice. And so from now on, I want you to consciously choose to love yourself unconditionally. Choose to see yourself through the eyes of love and only through the eyes of love. Choose to see others through love. Choose to see things through the eyes of love. Choose to make decisions with love. When you make decisions with love instead of fear, everything works out in your favor and for the good of all. So choose love. Now, let's move on to authenticity. Many talk about authenticity, but few truly understand what it is. I know I sure didn't before, and that's when I manifested a life that felt painful, stressful, and just wrong for me. Before, I manifested what I thought I should want instead of what I really wanted. Take one example. I thought I wanted a ballet studio, so I opened one with my in-laws. What I really was doing was trying to keep myself busy so I could escape my painful marriage. Yes, the studio was good for a time and I enjoyed it. But soon it became so stressful and so overwhelming that eventually I started hating it, and eventually we closed it. This is what happens when we manifest out of fear or try to manifest out of a place that isn't in alignment with our authenticity. Instead of us living happily ever after, we live miserable ever after. If you try to manifest what your authentic self doesn't really want, or if you manifest out of fear, there will be a lot of obstacles on the way and you won't be happy when or if it manifests. And I want you to be happy, 100% happy, all right? So after I went through my end of the world phase, which was when my life fell apart in a big way, and as I got serious about doing inner work, I realized that my happiness or my lack of happiness all had to do with one thing and one thing only, whether or not I was in alignment with my authentic self. So what is the authentic self? First, let's discuss what it's not. Most people believe they are their thoughts or feelings or physical bodies, or perhaps they believe they're their personality or even their labels like mother or daughter or wife or lover or lawyer or any other career label. We get so caught up in our lives that we lose track of who we truly are and identify ourselves as labels instead of the divine creators that we are. I'm here to tell you that you are not your thoughts, you are not your feelings, you're not your labels, you're not your body, okay? If you think about it, there's been a constant that is you, an essence that has remained true to itself, a creator and observer who is not a physical being, it's someone who's not a label. At first, it can be hard to grasp this concept because we're so used to thinking of ourselves, as our labels, but you are not. So, what is the authentic self? It's the version of you without your faulty beliefs and conditioning. It's the you in your truest, purest, most real form. It's the version of you that you aspire to be, but it's also the version of you that already exists in pure vibrational form. Your authentic self is pure consciousness and your source of unconditional love. It always approves of you, it never judges. It's just pure consciousness, pure love, pure abundance, pure joy, ever expansive, ever peaceful, and ever giving. And here is something that is very important to realize. Your authentic self is your endless source of everything that is good. Most people have been conditioned to try and get their needs met from outside sources like other people or experiences, However, as I'm sure you've experienced, the fastest way to misery and an unfulfilled life is to try and make someone else responsible for meeting your needs and making you happy. When we seek what we need from others, we'll always feel lack and feel cheated. This is because our wholeness cannot ever be found in another human being or a situation, period. They are not your source. You are your source. In your authentic self, you'll find everything you need: love, happiness, joy, peace, guidance, ideas, and more. To tap into this limitless abundance of your authentic self, all you have to do is tune in and receive. You don't have to try and manufacture it. It's already there. You don't have to beg for it. It's given freely when you open your heart and mind to receive. Your authentic self always loves you unconditionally. Your authentic self will never guide you astray, and it wants for your happiness and joy more than you can ever realize. Your authentic self has a limitless supply of whatever it is you need for all your dreams to manifest easily and without struggle. This is because the authentic self has an endless supply of love, peace, wellness, happiness, joy, gratitude, and any emotion that feels good to us. The authentic self also has an unlimited supply of ideas, thoughts, epiphanies, inspirations, and more that could immediately have us manifesting into our reality whatever it is we want. Now, much of the time, the only reason we don't manifest what we want when we want it is because we're fighting and resisting our true natures or our authentic selves. Your job is to become one with the vibration of your authentic self, and that is when your desires and dreams will start to manifest as physical matter in your outer world. From this day on, I challenge you to listen to your authentic self, to be open to all the love and abundance inside you, to be receptive to inspiration. So to recap, When you come into alignment with love and your authentic self, this is when your dream life can manifest. Before I say goodbye, here's the exercises for today. The first exercise is about coming into alignment and coming to know and feel the love that is inside of you. So I want you to sit for 5 minutes with your eyes closed and just feel the love in your heart. Try to access that. If you have a lot of resistance, it's okay. Just stick with it. Just sit with the feeling of love and try to tap into it. Become familiar with how it feels to feel love. Once you've been able to access the love, go ahead and journal about it. Like, how did it feel to you? What did you experience? Was it something that you had to force, or did you feel like it just rose inside of you? Did it feel natural to you? Did it feel weird? How did that experience feel to you? The second exercise is about getting in touch with your authentic self. So I want you to ask your authentic self what it thinks, feels, and believes about you. Just sit and think, my authentic self, or your higher self, or that being that is your ideal self. What is that saying and communicating about you? Then I want you to focus on the dream that you want to manifest. Ask your authentic self how it views that dream. How does it feel? Just really feel into it. From the perspective of your authentic self, how do you feel when you have manifested what you want? And then journal about it, okay? Tomorrow, we're going to turn to one of the most wonderful gifts you possess, something truly powerful when it comes to manifesting what you want, but something that's often misused. And this is your creative mind, or your imagination. I'll show you how to utilize your imagination to your advantage so you can start to create the life you want. And that's all for today. Good luck with the exercises. I can't wait to hear from you and some epiphanies that you've had. I love and appreciate you. Have a wonderful Monday, and I'll be talking to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.